1 minute. Someone's keying their microphone. Okay, stand by for systems. Okay, Steve. Okay, you're cutting out. Someone's keying their mic. Let's get off the test frequency. Let's put in another 30 seconds. Nice and well. Roger. At 008, hold us heading.
Frequency 2 cameras are on.
Windsor, okay, Steve. Westerly at about 10 knots. Coming on. I'm indicating 004. How does that look? Looks good, Steve, and all systems are okay here. The winds are westerly at 10 knots. Okay, this is NASA 1 calling 10 seconds now. 10 seconds, roger. 0, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Looks good, NASA 1. Perfect.
VCSI switch is on.
Okay, Victor.
Landing rocket arm switch is on. Here comes the throttle. Chevy breakers in. We have separation. Inboard and outboard are on. We're coming forward with the side snake.
Looks good. I've got blowout. Vapor 3. Get your pitch to 0. Pitches out again. Hold altitude.
Correction. Alpha hold is on. Track flight is emergency.
Flight calm. I can't hold it. She's breaking up. She's breaking.
Steve Austin, astronaut, a man barely alive. Gentlemen, we can rebuild him. We have the technology. We have the capability to make the world's first bionic man. Steve Austin will be that man. Better than he was before. Better, stronger, faster.
And welcome. This is your Will, your Sci-Fi Will, and tonight, this is your Bionic Will. Tonight only, I will be Bionic. Oh, no, that's not true. I'm Bionic a lot, actually. I am Bionic often because I love the $6 Million Man and the Bionic Woman. I love them both. You know, it's hard. Well, I mean, obviously, there's not one without the other. Adam and Eve, Buffy and Angel, which Joss Whedon did create Buffy and Angel, and he sort of modeled it after Steve and Jamie. $6 Million Man and Bionic Woman. That's a fact. So instead of getting into all the sort of minutia, and I like it just like everybody does, sure, all the details and such, we're going to talk about the opener. And, you know, you look at classic TV, they still have openers, certainly. You know, TV shows still have opening segments, theme songs, and such. But the classic sort of, the classic era, the golden age of 50s, 60s, 70s, this is where it flourished. And I think if you look at, right off the bat, you look at, of course, Star Trek. Well, before that, Twilight Zone, really. Twilight Zone still has one of the best openers. The Outer Limits, Star Trek, Battlestar Galactica, The Incredible Hulk, and now we have $6 Million Man. Oh, certainly that's the one we're focusing on because everybody loves bionics, don't they? I mean, everyone says, well, you know, if I lost a leg or an arm, I got into a bad accident, wouldn't it be great to be like Steve Austin? Wouldn't it be great to be able to do the things that Colonel Steve Austin does, or his love, Jamie Summers? And what's really great, I remember hearing this years ago. I looked up from one of the articles in official wikis for the $6 Million Man. It says the 70s series actually fueled the prosthetic industry, you know, for prosthetic artificial limbs. Patients needing new limbs would go to their doctor and ask for the same thing that Steve Austin, the $6 million man, has. This forced medical companies to come up with more advanced technology. Now that's incredible. I mean, I don't find any, statistical, maybe, backup of this, but it's right in the official Wikipedia for the show, so I would tend to believe there's got to be some. And if you look at the notation, the footnotes, you probably can trace back the source. So people would go in after they had bad accidents and said, you know what? I don't want that Hook. I don't want just a boring sort of, like Captain Hook. I want to be like Steve Austin, Colonel Steve Austin, like Jamie Summers. So again, though, getting back to the actual opener, the story, right? It tells a story. It gives you this background, or this, this sort of this origin story, like we're so used to today, right? With Marvel, DC, with all the superhero, the comic book movies, the origin story. How did Iron Man come to be? Spider-Man, for that matter, how did Thanos, the big bastard, right? How did he come to be? Captain America, Ant-Man, the list goes on. And for Colonel Steve Austin, he was, as you heard, injured. We can rebuild him, Oscar Goldman says. So it was that wonderful, dramatic story played each week when you watched it. I mean, I watched it as a kid back in the day, and I couldn't wait to see the next installment. I mean, today we have streaming, and a lot of times you can binge it, which is just good in one way. But in another, you're not looking forward to something as much. And, I can't wait to see next Friday, next Saturday, next week's episode. And, one of the main reasons that producers and, the showrunners and the studios love to put, together these great openers is because they know, well, back in the day and still today, that people will be, getting a snack, a drink, maybe having to go to the bathroom, or just goofing off. And they're like, when is my show coming on? And as soon as they hear that opener of $6 Million Man and, Gentlemen, We Can Rebuild Him, like, oh, Demonic Man's on, and run back into the living room, the bedroom, the sitting room, the media room. And I clearly remember that happening. I'd be in my bedroom, or maybe even outside, and maybe the TV would be on kind of loud, near our patio doors. And Steve's coming, and Bionic Man's ready to come onto the boob tube. Now, as is the case again still today, but often they would make multiple themes, or it would change over the course of the show. Say you're running 4 or 5 seasons, 6 or 7 seasons, you're going to change sometimes, the music slightly, or the narration. With $6 Million Man, this is a real treat. I found this, I think I heard this a long time ago, but in terms of being broadcast, it was only broadcast for the pilot movies, or the two television features that launched $6 Million Man, because it was just a TV movie based on a novel, and then it became another TV movie because the ratings for the first did so well. So I'm going to play the original opener, and it's such a kick because as a kid, I might have remembered it vaguely, but certainly it's been years, and I'm going to play it for you right now.
Mission Control. Steve, what is it? What's wrong?
I was hoping you could tell me.
He's alive. He lost an arm, 2 legs, and 1 eye, but he's alive.
I'm not sure he'd want to live if he can't be the man he was.
What if he could be more than the man he was? We have the technology to rebuild him. I want it done no matter what the cost.
He's the man. He's the man. Catch him if you can, beat him if you can, love him if you can. Now he's the $6 million man.
That's right, he's the man. He's the $6 million man. How is that? It's awesome. I know if you you buy the DVD sets, and I'm pretty sure you can't buy individual seasons. You might be able to, but I think you have to buy the complete, box set. Either way, if you buy the first season or get the complete series, you get these pilot movies, the first 2 movies, and you get the original theme song. He's the man, the $6 Million Man. Can't get much better. So cool. So right now, I don't know if you guys know it, but the show is based on a novel. It was a book by Martin Caidin, and we're talking a real-life assertion that even Oscar Goldman would be excited about. This will blow your mind. Martin Caidin actually claimed, this is the author of the novel, that his book was based upon a government project, and that there was, in fact, a viable cyborg created as the result of that super-secret project. Really wrap your brains around that, your little bionic brains, okay? Martin Caidin claims now it could have been just, PR for the book and buzz, that there actually was a cyborg created, And if the book was written in the early 70s, the show came out in 1974. So maybe the cyborg came out in either the late 60s or early 70s. The cyborg was created. Maybe it was just a really advanced prosthetic arm or leg for the time. But when he says a viable cyborg, that sounds a lot like Steve Austin, so who knows? Maybe there was a few Steve Austins running around trying to save the world back then. Now, for years, they keep, promising that Mark Wahlberg was going to step into Steve's shoes, Colonel Austin's shoes, and do a $6 billion man, obviously with inflation. I checked IMDb and some sources. They said it's still probable in development, but who knows? So maybe we'll get it eventually with Mark Wahlberg, or maybe someone else will take it. It's common that, sometimes a project will, go by the wayside, be kind of abandoned. Someone, picks it up, then they lose rights or they lose interest. So we'll see if we'll get a $6 billion man. So I hope you're a fan, as I am, a bionic booster of Steve and Jamie. I know they did try to do a remake or reimagination of the Bionic Woman, and it was pretty good, actually. I enjoyed it. I didn't love it, expressly and fully. I think they did a decent job. I think it lasted maybe 12 to 14 episodes, so it sort of bombed. I think Katie Sackhoff from, she played the evil Bionic Woman that was, opposing the Jamie. It was a British actress. I can't remember her name, but it's good. I mean, you can find it actually in Roku. I saw it the other day free, so you can go on the Roku channel. Hope you enjoyed, and hope you enjoy watching the bionics of sci-fi science fiction, because, as I said in the beginning, Joss Whedon based Buffy and Angel on Steve and Jamie, so that's a huge influence for another sort of sci-fi fantasy show. And for my money, I still don't get tired of watching the exploits of Colonel Steve Austin and his love, Jamie Summers, tennis pro and teacher. Keep on listening. Keep on subscribing. If you have not, you can subscribe for free. We're always free. There is a paid tier, a paid people. You get goodies, you get extra, goodness, and you get exclusives, interviews and such. So keep on messaging us, keep on sending us comments, keep feedbacking. We love hearing from it. And go watch $6 Million Man. Go listen to that opener once again. I never tire of it. You might not either. We'll see you soon.